video for the water element, and people can journey. It's a similar vibe to what we're gonna hear for the journey, but it's a meditation. Actually, the track is all about the process of dissolution, and I know that you can speak to that, Jocelyn, from all of your teachings with alchemy this year. So it's a track from one of my Star Garden releases, but it's about the release into the archetypal oceanic abyss of the water element, which we call dissolution in the second phase of alchemy. The track is called Reversing Heaven. And so maybe you could speak to that phase a little bit, and then we could play the track. I'll put the link as well, and then you can play it from the link.
Okay, wonderful. And let me update the sound settings on my side of Zoom here too, just to make sure it plays its best. Okay, cool. Change that over. Yeah, well, so dissolution. So alchemy is this ancient study of how we can transform things, including ourselves. And so spiritual alchemy is something I've been teaching about a lot this year, because this initiatory process that we're in, it really requires us to move into an alchemical space where we open up to, as I was saying in my talk yesterday, setting an intention, but knowing that what we might receive when we set that intention, or we set out to do certain type of healing work, what we receive from the universe may be much better for us, more what we needed, or beyond the possibilities of what we ever imagined could happen, right? And this is what alchemy can bring to us. It's very magical. And so dissolution is the second stage of alchemy. There are 7 stages in total. And dissolution is connected with the sacral chakra. And it's very much about water. And it's really about letting our ego dissolve. The first 3 stages of alchemy are all about breaking down the ego in different ways. The first stage, calcination, is about breaking down the ego with using fire. And this second stage, dissolution, is about breaking down the ego using water. So as you listen to this, if you want to enter into that alchemical space of dissolution, you can really imagine, let come up whatever wants to come through you related to water, but maybe it's that there are waters moving through your body, washing you clean, activating your sacral chakra, which is the space from which we can create anything that we can dream of. That'd be, I'm sure, very powerful to go along with this music experience.
Yes, beautiful. So the link is in the chat.
Okay, I'm getting that queued up right now.
And then when that's complete, we'll come back, and I'm going to share a little bit of poetry again before we begin the ambient journey, and we'll just check in, make sure the sound is working, and then we'll begin the journey.
Okay, wonderful. Well, let me share this. And by the way, everybody, this YouTube channel that's called Celestial Meditations, look this up, bookmark it. This is where Verdeluz is sharing some really beautiful meditation tracks that he has created that are both visual and audio meditations. There's tracks of all different lengths on here, so you come to this when you want to meditate. It's really beautiful music here. So let me share this and make it full screen. Again, I'm going to turn off my video.
One second, can we pause it? Sorry.
Sure.
Yeah, the sound is really poor quality on that because I think it's coming just through your speakers.
Okay. Is there a setting I can change?
Maybe try doing the share screen and seeing if that, or I could do it, and I have stronger speakers right in front of me.
Okay. So yeah, I did the advanced, the share screen and the
you did already.
Setting. Okay. I did that just before we.
Well, why don't why don't I do it and I'll play it through these speakers, which are much better.
Okay.
So I just need to share the screen then.
Okay. All right, you can share now.
Awesome. Okay, so here we go. And let me know if you could hear this. I'll make it full screen in just 1 minute as we begin. Oh, sorry. 1 second. Oh, Murphy. Okay. Welcome back, everyone.
Wow, that was beautiful. Thank you, Gerdeluz, for sharing that with us. And so I would love to ask you just a couple questions about your work as a musician, which, as you know, I admire your work so much and find your music so powerful, and just really, you know, in my practice of shamanic journeying work, it's just incredibly powerful for really helping to drop in and fly to the stars or wherever we need to go, right, in the journeying space. So could you tell us a bit about yourself as a musician and the work you've done as a musician?
Yeah, and if anyone wants to share about that journey, I'd love to, see where people might have gone, or if they did a kind of process of release, as dissolution is about in alchemy, and dissolving boundaries, releasing in spirit. So please feel free to share in the chat. It helps everyone else out as well. Um, wow, with music, I've been playing since I was 16, and I still feel like that was too late to begin, but I started playing guitar then, and I'm a child of the '80s, so I loved rock and all metal and all of that, and I still love some of that quite a bit. But you know, my my music career has kind of like just been undulations into all these different realms. I love dance music, so I produced some dance music for a few years. I DJ'd yesterday, and so I love to dance and I love that music. Um, and then the classical and Turkish guitars. I studied a couple instruments in India, one called the Indian sarod, classical traditional instrument in Turkey, um, the Turkish baglama, which is right here, this instrument. And I'll play that tomorrow. This is a folk guitar from Turkey. And I just, if it's got strings on it and I can play it kind of like a guitar, then I like to put it in my hands and play it. So, but the classical guitar really feels like something deep in my soul. Um, and then ambient guitar has come in the last, I'd say, 2 years, really strong, as part of a meditation practice for myself. Really, like, I go into such a deep trance state when I'm playing, and it really feels like a space of dissolution where I am not, I'm so present that I'm not there. And I know that everyone on this call knows what I'm talking about, where we're in the zone, where we're connected with our muse, um, and our higher self. And that's why I enjoy composing that music so much. It's usually a morning practice for me. It feels like when the energies are quieter in the day, then I can really access these more subtle vibrations. And so that music is composed also for ceremonial work. I do some really deep shamanic work with dimethyltryptamine and entheogens, and so it's helpful to have these vibrations that are very spacious for the soul and the spirit to release and relax. And so I compose some of the music for that and for meditation and for healing work and sleep and dream work as well. So um, hopefully people can use it for all of those intentions or any of them. And that's why we created the channel, the Celestial Meditations channel.
Yes, definitely. And can you say a little bit about the ambient guitar that you're going to be playing now, and how you recommend for people to tune into this kind of music?
Well, with the ambient guitar, I always suggest people just go into meditation, really go into their heart. You can lie down or stay in like a sitting meditation pose. It's really best to not do so many other things. It's more of a meditation. Um, and it's for journeying. It's to, go as far out or as far in as you can. And just see what emerges, whether that's a visual or a knowing experience. Maybe you have a clairaudient moment or a clairsentient moment, um, or you just like the sound. Just very simple. That's that's the journey.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's such an expansive type of music, what
Yeah.
you're all about here. So allow yourselves to really, really move into that expansive state.
Wonderful. So, yeah, I think what we'll do is, yeah, we'll get. I'm going to share a poem with you from just to move into this non-dualistic space that we're talking about with this music, from the Wahu Ching, which is the unknown teachings of Lao Tzu. And this is one of my favorite texts of all time. I use it quite a bit for ceremonial work as well, because it's all about non-duality. These states that, you know, we can access when we allow that dissolution process. So I want to read you from this beautiful, beautiful text. And this is interesting because Lao Tzu is referring to the process of dissolution here. Because can you dissolve your ego? Can you abandon the idea of self and other? Can you relinquish the notions of male and female, short and long, life and death? Can you let go of all these dualities and embrace the Tao without skepticism or panic? If so, you can reach the heart of the integral oneness. Along the way, avoid thinking of the oneness as unusual, exalted, sublime, transcendental, because it is the oneness. It is beyond all that. It is simply the direct, essential, and complete truth. And, you know, when the moon is in Pisces or when it's touching Neptune in the sky, like it is today, it's always a time to access the non-dual state, the dissolution state, to let the ego relax, to not push so hard, and to also do that through poetry. And so that's why we're sharing a lot of poetry today. We're going to share more during the week. Before we begin the music, I'm going to share just a little bit more writing, a little bit from myself and also from John O'Donohue, who I shared a little bit of today. What I wanted to share was about the process of the seasons and about letting go, the change, the value of change and impermanence. You know, in Japan, there is this concept. It's actually very connected to art and a movement in art. The art movement is called wabi sabi, and it's all about this idea of like the beauty in things like decaying and changing their form. So it's not about like something being perfect, right, or polished. It's actually like that chip on the pottery is something you really acknowledge is beautiful. And part of how time is like feeding the, you know, the exquisite sort of architecture of every moment. And I love that concept. So there's a lot of different concepts in Japanese around the aesthetics of transience. Some of my tracks are kind of named around this. Actually, I love the Japanese language. I don't speak it, but the idea here is really appreciating the cycles and the seasons. And so in John's book, To Bless the Space Between Us, John O'Donohue speaks about thresholds. And it really feels like, you know, of course, when we use the word threshold, we also think of initiations like we're going through collectively and what this whole journey is about that we're a part of right now. So I'm going to read you a passage here from chapter 3 and To Bless the Space Between Us. To change is one of the great dreams of every heart. To change the limitations, the sameness, the banality, or the pain. So often we look back on patterns of behavior, the kind of decisions we make repeatedly, and that have failed to serve us well, and we aim for a new and more successful path or way of living. But change is difficult for us. So often we opt to continue the old pattern rather than risking the danger of difference. We are also often surprised by change that seems to arrive out of nowhere. We find ourselves crossing some new threshold we had never anticipated. Life, like spring, secretly at work within the heart of winter, below the surface of our lives, huge changes are in fermentation. We never suspect a thing. Then, when the grip of some long, enduring winter mentality begins to loosen, we find ourselves vulnerable to a flourish of possibility, and we are suddenly negotiating the challenge of a threshold. I really love this. Like, it's so about what we've been experiencing through coronavirus. It was actually like as the spring was emergent too, like coming out of this winter, and we never suspected a thing, like he was saying, you know, and it was like we were all in a long enduring winter mentality where it's like we get stuck in our ways. We had these sort of frozen concepts of who we are, what we're going to do with our lives. And now everything has shifted, vulnerable to a flourish of possibility and suddenly negotiating the challenge of a threshold. At any time, you can ask yourself, at which threshold am I now standing? At this time in my life, what am I leaving? Where am I about to enter? What is preventing me from crossing my next threshold? What gift would enable me to do it? And I'll just pause for a minute. I want to give you a chance to sit with your own thresholds right now. You know, where are you leaving and where are you about to enter? Is there something preventing you from crossing that threshold? The threshold is not simply a boundary. It is a frontier that divides two different territories, rhythms, and atmospheres. Indeed, it is a lovely testimony to the fullness and integrity of an experience or stage of life that it intensifies towards the end into a real frontier that cannot be crossed without the heart being passionately engaged and woken up. At this threshold, a great complexity of emotion comes alive: confusion, fear, excitement, sadness, and hope. This is one of the reasons why such vital crossings were always clothed in ritual. It is wise in your own life to be able to recognize and acknowledge these key thresholds. Yeah, so feel free if you want to put in the chat about your own threshold journeys. I'm going to read one last piece before beginning the music. And it's a piece that I wrote, and uh, it pertains to the autumn season that we're in right now. And it's actually called Threnodi's Code. And a threnody is an ancient Greek term for a song of lamentation, or kind of like a longing, a yearning kind of song. And so I always feel that kind of sense with autumn, like, you know, there's almost like a yearning or a nostalgia for what has been with summer, but then there's a depth coming with the winter. And so I am really excited to share this poem with you, an autumn hymn, Threnodi's Code. Nowhere do we not remain. Nowhere do we not remain. The nostalgia code of the one unborn, the one unborn. Nowhere does the elegy of our incense not perfume the sky with its yearning to be savored before disappearance. Nowhere does the elegy of our incense not perfume the sky with its yearning to be savored before disappearance, its face of vapor, and I, the ballerina's delicate scent, brood upon the scales of hidden silence. I tip in the quake of your apocalyptic voice and spill into fall and submit autumn to your siren cacophonies, /warnings. For nowhere do we not offer our ashes to earth below. Nowhere do we not offer our ashes to earth below. Nowhere where the bright day will not ripen its choir into the dark eve of gypsy and hollow. All souls hang downside up from halo. For even though you may desire to bury your secret in the ear of the air, know that the wind cannot resist its exclamation. Know that the clouds will confess your destined existence. Remember that you will forget your first name, and your last will also not linger. While the cavalcades of hollowed out language in between all of their shades of separation will shiver until their casted bronze shatter, like the armor enemy we have worn around the luminescence of our one pulsing awareness. Shatter like the armor enemy we have worn around the luminescence of our one pulsing awareness, and so sustain the angels play the letters of your incarnation. Through plumed serpent smoke, the invocation of seraphim slithered through your holy name. And the meaning of that vibration will reverberate vocabularies in medicine mantra. The seraphim slithered through your holy name, and the meaning of that vibration will reverberate vocabularies in medicine mantra. Ancestors transfigure into star-destined deities, dreaming you home from your hands in prayer pose. So peel back the costume of your skin to reveal your holy purpose. Spiral up the central channel to unveil the void and seize your sacred verse like you would the dream of your first kiss, that lullaby stillness, varnished in the rapture of beloved lips. Gesture the aching sage song from disciple lungs. Overflow the aroma of soul, curls inward all the way towards home. And even though you soldier as duty of leaf crackled time, you soldier as duty of leaf crackled time, lick now the burning sandalwood, the dying season. Ask the mystery to translate the scripture of resurrection etched into your heart. And wail, lament all the way back to praise. Then allow the immortal pine to whisper, pilgrim, your trail to presence paves all perception with the fertile soil of source gilded roots. Pilgrim, your trail to presence paves all perception with the fertile soil of source gilded roots that spiral forth awake awareness. Now soul, 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 so umbilical your sacred seed, the nostalgic hold of the one unborn.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for this.
Oh. Mm.
I will share the hawk is circling around right above us here, listening to your poem.
Beautiful. Well, you know, these seasonal shifts and the trees in the neighborhood are really starting to release now. The colors are, you know, they were in full swing and they're starting to let go. And I just feel it so deeply, and I know everyone does. And that at this time of year with the veils thinning. And so I hope the poetry can continue to move through everyone, through the music and through these sharings. So thank you, Suzanne, for acknowledging the poetry and the music. Yeah, beautiful. I wish I could have a copy to read and reread. Well, maybe we can do that. We'll see what we can
And
do.
yeah, we can post, documents, PDF or Word
Yeah,
document for everybody.
wonderful. Yes. Okay. Well, everyone, um, we're going to move into the ambient guitar celestial odyssey here. I'm very excited to share. We have a little invocation for you before that. I'm going to move over to Twitch. Twitch is where we're doing a lot of the live music. Um, Jocelyn was going to give the invocation here, and then she's going to guide you to move over to Twitch so you can see the performance. But also, we have a video for you on YouTube. It's a journey into the stars, and I invite you to either just listen to the music or definitely listen to the music and watch the video together. They'll work really well. So I'll let Jocelyn take over and enjoy the Celestial Odyssey. And Jocelyn and I will do just a quick sound check, make sure that I'm coming through okay, and then we'll begin. So I'll see you in a couple minutes.
Awesome. Okay, so everybody, I want to say just briefly here why we're moving over to Twitch, just so that everybody understands, because I know we had some questions about this yesterday. Zoom is not ideal for bringing through the sound of music in a really high quality way. And so some of you have, I think Suzanne just was commenting on that. So we really want our musicians to be heard in all of their magnificence, right? Not through the filter of Zoom, which Zoom is amazing, but it's really made for spoken voices, not to carry the sound of instruments or even sometimes vocal singing, or a drum beat, right? Things like that are not optimal on Zoom. So we're gonna recommend, just highly, highly recommend that you leave the Zoom meeting and move completely over to Twitch to experience the musical performances here. That will really give you the best experience. And all you need to do is just put the Twitch link in your browser, open it up and watch. If you want to chat and comment on Twitch, you do need to sign up, register for free with a free Twitch account, and then you'll be able to comment. But if you don't care about commenting on Twitch, that's totally fine. You can just watch, just put the link in and watch, and you don't have to do anything else. So in a minute, I'll give you the Twitch link. Everybody can switch over there. Definitely turn off Zoom. Don't try to watch Zoom and Twitch at the same time, or Facebook Live and Twitch at the same time, because Twitch has a bit of a delay. So then you'll be listening to two different times and it will not be cool. So just wanted to explain that to you, why we're using Twitch to give you the best experience for our musicians here. Now, let me share with you then, let's drop in deeply here before we head over to Twitch. And so just close your eyes and just begin to let your awareness sink down out of your thinking mind and into your heart space. And take a deep breath in, breathing in deeply, really filling up your lungs. Know that you are taking in all the magic that surrounds us, the sunlight, the oxygen, all these abundant universal gifts that are given to us every moment of our lives. Breathe that in deeply. And with every out breath, just let yourself sink deeper and deeper into that imaginal space, into that space of inner knowing. And so the invitation here, as you listen to this beautiful, expansive ambient guitar music, is to call to your side a guide. Just trust whoever shows up, whether it's an angel, an animal, an ancestor, or any other kind of being. Trust that this guide is here to guide you and protect you today. And then let your guide take you out into the stars. And as you travel out to the stars, let your guide take you to the galactic center. This is a part of our universe that is very activated for us here on Earth right now. The galactic center is the place from which our galaxy was born. It is truly a womb space. It is truly a birthplace that all of us here on Earth came from, because our galaxy and all of the planets in our solar system were born from this galactic center. And so as you journey to the galactic center, see what wants to come through to you about your roots, your family out there in the stars, and where you originally came from long before this lifetime. And also, as you're flying around in the cosmos to the galactic center, really take in the beauty of the stars. Let the light in your eyes merge with the light in the stars, and let that light merge with the light in your heart. Really enjoy this experience and trust whatever else may happen in this journey. It is meant to be. It is meant to inform you, inspire you, lift you up, expand you. Now, there are actually two pieces here. So you're going to hear the sound on Twitch, and I'll give you that link in a minute to head over. And at the same time, you can do just the sound if you want, but I strongly recommend also opening up this YouTube video and playing it and watching, muting the YouTube video, but watching the visual of this YouTube video, because it's an incredible journey through the galaxies. Okay, so here are your options. You can either just close your eyes and listen to Twitch and go with that journey in your own, right, in your own imaginal space. Or if you want to have your eyes open, it would be amazing to play the YouTube video, but put it on mute so you're seeing the visual from that and listen to the audio from Twitch. So hopefully that's clear. So let me share the Twitch link. That is right here. So just click on this and then get off of Zoom so that you're not running them both at the same time. And also, if you want the visual journey, here is the YouTube Cosmic Journey. Let's see, Cosmic Visuals, I will say. Okay, so again, I'll just say one more time, if you want to, just go over to Twitch and then close your eyes and sink in deeply and experience this in your own imaginal space, or you can do Twitch plus the YouTube if you want to have those cosmic visuals. So head over there now, everybody, and then come back here afterwards. When the music ends, come back to the Zoom link, because we're going to then let you share, and we want to see how the experience was for you. Okay, enjoy. Blessings, everybody. Go and enjoy. And yeah, definitely sign off of Zoom so that you can go over on Twitch.